Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, and I have 2 tips for you today. 2 tips. Yes. Lots of things going on. I'm busy cutting kits today, but if I can, let's see. Going to see if I can get the camera over to. Let me see if I can get that one over to the machine. I want to show you something quick. This is a quick, easy little tip. If I can get this. Okay, whoops. And I pushed the wrong buttons. Hate when that happens. Okay. Up and over. Do-do-do. You guys can all be laughing at me. It's one of those. My goodness. Over, slowly. There we go. All right. So, what I want to show you is actually 2 things on the machine. And I know this is on the Lumineer and Solaris, and I think the Destiny and Dream, and probably Meridian and those other machines. I'm not sure how far down it goes, but we were in class yesterday and doing some edge-to-edge quilting, and we're just going to pick a design, any design. We don't care what design it is. There are times when, if you're doing the quilting, like on the Navigator quilt from the class yesterday, they needed to, when they got to the quilting, if you were putting your back on at the same time and quilting through everything, or when you're using your clear blue tiles or your edge-to-edge quilting with Amalia Scott or any of the others, that you don't want your threads to show in the back, you can cut, you know how our machine at the end cuts the threads every time. Well, some of your machines, it may actually be up in the settings up here underneath your notebook. But for these machines, it's actually right here at the bottom, right in front of your face. Yes, we had to research it to find it because I don't normally turn them off, but that way you can turn it off, and it's more like your traditional quilting where you begin the back of the quilting and you pull the thread to the top. Well, when you get to the end of your embroidery, it automatically cuts it. Well, you can touch this little button right here. It brings it up, and it's called End Color Trim. You can turn that off. You can also turn off your jump stitch if you want to, and you can make adjustments there. But this is the End Color Trim. That's where at the end of every color, it cuts your thread once it's done. So if you just touch that, now it is turned off. The only thing I caution you is to remember to turn it back on. But when you're doing your quilting, if you don't want it, then, and Dime has edge-to-edge designs, and they tell you the same thing, to turn it off. If you want to, that is the place right on your embroidery screen. Once you get to embroidery, it's not in the layout, it's not up here, it's not in the edit screen. It is right in your embroidery screen. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing. The other thing that brought up yesterday was on these machines, they don't give you a manual anymore, not a physical manual. And some people say, well, I want my manual, I want to print it out. Well, you certainly can, or you can take and save it, because it's in the machine. You can save it on a USB stick and then read it on your iPad or your computer, or you can read it on the screen. Now, the good thing, or the cool thing about it, is every time you do an update, the update is automatically in here. You don't have to add new pages. But you go up to find it. The other thing is, it is a searchable document. So what I mean by that is, and you've got lots of really cool stuff here, but your PDF manual, this is the manual for your book. You've got, if you've added, if you've upgraded, the addendums whenever there's been changes, embroidery, sewing, and then your end user license agreements that they make you sign or make you agree to. Well, those, you also have the little code that if you want to go for information and updates, but this question was an embroidery question. So here's the manual, and it even tells you how to use it, and guess what? You can make it bigger. Okay, so you can make it bigger so you can see it right on your screen. It's right there. You don't have to remember what you did with your manual or anything else. You can search, and you can search by words. What did I put? I put in thread cut yesterday. I think that's what it was, and searched. And there it takes me right to using the automatic thread cutting functions. So it took it to me right in the directions. And then that is on page 101. So you can search, you've got all of your pages that you can search through here. I think, let's see. Oops, plate. So please wait. If you touch that button, it takes you to the next instance of it. Took me right to the thread cutter. Okay, so if that's not exactly what you're looking for, you can, move forward and back and navigate through. But that is right there on your machine. Now, since we're here, another little reminder, because I know a lot of you forget that you have this, is you have an operation guide, a sewing guide, and a pattern explanation. It tells you about the patterns, but a sewing guide. If you need, whoops, that's because I'm not in the sewing mode. Okay, gotta go back here, close. Gotta be in sewing mode. Let's go to the sewing mode. Okay, now we'll go back up there. And under the sewing guide, it's sewing. Things that you might need to know. You want to know how to do a buttonhole, a pin tuck, a bar tack, a flat fell seam, a dart seam, a blind hem. All of those different things. Straight stitching, overcasting, scallop, so it shows you a skirt and a shirt and points out the different stitches. Like a blind hem stitch, that's one that's important. You touch on that and it gives you the number of the stitch that you use to make, to do the blind hem. Okay? And it'll tell you what stitch is used for stretch fabrics if you're doing stretch, and then the other is for other. So I just thought it was a good time to kind of revisit and tell you that again. You can make changes to tension and left-right shift and length and those kind of things. I normally never adjust my attention unless I absolutely have to. Remember, 97% of your issues can be resolved by rethreading the top, rethreading the bottom, checking your bobbin, make sure the thread's coming off of the bobbin, and changing your needle. Okay, so let's go back home. All right, we're going to stay in the sewing, because the next thing I want to show you is these new ideal seam guides that we purchased and we have available. I'm going to flip this over. Okay. We talked about it a little bit the other day, but this little piece right here, let me put it right here so you can see it. This is a ideal seam gauge, so it will get your needle lined up for whatever size seam you want. So if you're trying to stitch a 1/4 inch seam, and no matter what machine you have, you can use this on. You're a scant 1/4, 1/8 of an inch, 3/8. So we get it down here to the 1/4 of an inch, and we put the needle right underneath. And then we use our hand wheel over on the side. We all have a hand wheel, and make sure it goes down in. Okay? And then you're going to line up, and we have 2 of these different gauges, and I'm going to show you some other things with it, but not today. Then you hold this down and you line it up. I got it. Okay, Just line it up just like that. Okay. And I've got, no matter what foot I have in my machine, I have my machine set up for 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Now the other cool thing that you can do, and if you notice these have this big opening in the top, that opening, see if you can see that, is that it works with your wider feet and your move it foot. All right, now we can take this other side and we can lay it down. But what I want to show you is you've got a new sewer, you've got somebody, or you have trouble with your seams, and when you're sewing them, you know, you ever have, move this over here, ever have problems with your sewing and it starts to slide this way on you? Well, you can take and lay this down and bring the other one in, this one right here. Okay. Lay it down just like that. Be able to line it up, and look at that. You've got guides on both sides. So if you're new to sewing, you struggle with it going left or right, you can now take and sew straight down using the guides. You're going to have perfect, look at that, perfect 1/4 of an inch all the way down your seam, and then you can flip it over on the other side. No more swinging. This one has a little curve in it. That is used to sew round curves, like your drunkard's path, or trying to go around a curve. So that's, let me get this back up here. Back out. Whoops, back out. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So those are my Thursday tips, just to give you a little refresher on those things. Okay, we are busy cutting kits, getting everything ready so that we can get them out the first of the month. We've got our Black Friday sale is going on. You check out that tab on our website, Black Friday. And next week we will be open Wednesday. We're closing on Thursday, of course, for Thanksgiving on Friday, but the 24/7 sale is going to go on. We will be back on Tuesday the 28th for snippets. We have snippets, and we have Bijou Wonder next week. So you guys make it a great afternoon. Go sew something. Keep those blocks coming. We've received several blocks. Remember, we're doing our donating blocks for the Lutheran Relief, World Relief quilts, that they're making mission quilts, and that's our challenge. So you've got some leftover blocks, you've got some orphans, you've got some practice blocks. Practice your stitching, and turn those things into 10-inch blocks and send us one. You can send more if you want to, or drop them off at the store, but we're just asking everybody to make one. So we will be back. We'll see you tomorrow. We do have table runner, so hopefully everybody's busy sewing on their table runner, so we can pop over on live, or depending on if it's the middle of class, we may have to make some adjustments. Remember, Dealer Digital exclusives. If you sign up by the first of the month for the subscription, the full subscription with the kits in class, you're going to get a free embellishment kit for the free design. If you sign up for just the designs each month, you will get the free design. They're located on the calendar, so if you go to our website, check the calendar out. I've got all of those dates on there. It doesn't let you register that way. You've got to register under the subscription. You're not going to get charged till the end of the year, but the dates are already on the calendar just for purposes so you can plan the dates that we've got the class. The new mini quilts, those designs should be here Wednesday. Now we're getting close to holiday time, so They may arrive, supposed to, at this point. UPS, it says that it's on track to arrive Wednesday, but we'll have the mini quilts, we'll have the embellishment kits. If you ordered them, we'll get them out to you just as soon as we can. And then what's coming else? The pillows are coming for the first of the year. I think, oh, and the other is to sign up if you want to do the tier tray for Easter, because we're doing that January 10th and 11th, which means we've got to get the kits in the shop and out to you over the Christmas holiday to make sure that you get it. We don't want anyone to be sad and miss out on that. So if you're interested in it, go ahead and get signed up. So make it a great afternoon. Go sew something. And we here in Florida are enjoying a little bit of rain today.